Now, before we get too deep into the outreach process, we got to start with the fundamentals around how do we pitch our product or our service. And really, at the highest level here, all we're trying to do is excite some curiosity. We're not trying to oversell or overhype this product or service. We just want to pique some curiosity here so that the prospect wants to lean in and learn more. Remember, we're just trying to start that conversation. We're just trying to get a dialogue going. We don't need to get them to sign on the dotted line yet. All we want to do is start that conversation. So let's see, how do we do that? And now there's a couple of fundamentals we will kind of want to just dig into here at the basics. So starting with benefits versus features. So we want to sell on benefits, which is like the ultimate value that our customers get from using our product, not features. Features are just a component of our product. So let's look at an example here. Now, if we're going off of the example of our friends at Canary, remember Canary is a mobile app that hotels can use. Hotels can purchase, that their customers can use the app to check in, and without ever having to stop at the front desk, without ever having to interact with any of the hotel staff, really. So it's an all-in-one app that really, really streamlines the guest, or improves the guest experience, and then streamlines the hotel operations. So our product is a mobile app for contactless check-in. The feature here is that you can check in your guests without exchanging credit cards, IDs, or registration forms. So the feature would be, there's an automated link that gets sent to the guest to allow them to check in. Awesome, really cool feature. But what does that actually mean? What value do I, as the hotel, actually get by using Canary? So what? So what if my guests can do this? Who really cares? Well, the benefit here is the value that you as the hotel get from using this product. So the benefit is you improve your guest experience by 1, increasing health and safety of guests so they don't have to interact with hotel staff, and then 2, eliminate check-in wait times. So there's no long wait times, which ultimately, again, increases that guest experience. The guest is allowed to come in, go right to the room without having to stand in line, without being unhappy there waiting to check in. So that's the difference between benefits and features. We always want to sell on benefits as much as possible. Sometimes you might have to get into the features, but it's always important to try to get to the so what. Why do I care? What's the value here for me as the customer? Now, to define that value, there's a couple of tricks we can use here. And this is a little bit of a crowded slide. So what we're going to do is actually look at this in real life, look at an example about how we came up with these value propositions and these pain points. So let's flip over here to Canary. Now, to start, you always want to start on the homepage of your product site. So we're going to do this as an example, imagining that you're going through the interview process right now. You're an SDR, you're going through the interview process, and you probably get to a step in the interview process where they say, hey, here's an assignment, and we would like you to maybe write a cold email as if you're prospecting for us, or make a cold call to a prospect. And you really don't know where to start. You're probably thinking, well, what do I even talk about? How do I even sell this? So that's what we're really doing here, is going through this exercise together. So let's start here by listing out some of the value propositions. Now, the value props for Canary are really streamlining their operations, increasing revenue, and improve guest experience. Where did I get that from? Did I make that up? No. It was right on the front page of Canary's website. Canary solutions help hoteliers streamline their operations, increase revenue, and improve guest experience. That's what they do. They've given me the benefits right there in plain English. Streamline ops, increase revenue, improve guest experience. Terrific. So I want to lead with that. That's what they do. Now what I've done is kind of bulleted out, how do they do these things? How do they improve guest experience? Well, what I can do is go to the product section here and start looking at some of their products. So we start with contactless check-in. And what I would do is I'd probably watch this video here. I would start reading through all these different data points that they give me. They're telling me that today's check-in process is unpleasant for guests. It's tedious for time and time-consuming for staff members. It's not safe because you're having to exchange IDs and cards and be face-to-face with somebody. It's not clean to be in contact. So they're telling me all this about the check-in process. I can also go to the digital authorizations here and learn the same thing, right? So they're saying that I can avoid chargebacks and fraud with this product. That's awesome. It looks like guests typically have to fill out a bunch of forms by hand or by email. That's pretty tedious also. So I'm starting to get a picture of how they help their guests or how they help their hotels. I can also always come back to this customers tab as well and look at these quotes, right? I can scroll down here. I can see, let's find some quotes right here. Their contactless check-in has made my team's jobs easier. That's awesome. They offer PCI compliance, which is their digital authorization product, which helps avoid chargebacks. So I can dig into all of these quotes, these case studies, and try to define the value they bring. So improved guest experience. We got improved health and safety, 0 wait time during check-in. How do we streamline operations? Less credit card fraud and chargebacks, fewer manual paper processes. I'm not making these up, right? I'm just getting these from the website, copy and pasting them down here so I can get an idea of how to pitch Canary. Increase revenue. They mentioned in there that you can increase revenue through upsell opportunities, and then ultimately happier guests will refer more of their friends, and they themselves will come back and be repeat customers. So those are all the value propositions. What's helpful sometimes when you're pitching a product or service is to actually take these value props and turn them into pain points as well. What I mean by pain points is, let's say I'm talking to a hotel and I'm trying to understand, maybe like a general manager at a hotel, and I'm trying to understand his or her pain points. So they might be saying that they're worried about guest health and safety, or maybe there's long wait times during check-in process. Maybe they want to reduce credit card fraud. Maybe they have a ton of credit card fraud today and a lot of chargebacks. Maybe they're trying to increase upsell opportunities. Maybe revenue's down and revenue's has been hurting lately. Maybe they need to increase referrals. So you can basically take these value props that you find on a website and turn them into negatives. So like if the value prop is upsell opportunities, what would be a pain point today? Maybe that they don't know how to increase upsell opportunities. Maybe they've tried to increase upsell opportunities but have failed in the past. If the value prop is the fewer credit card chargebacks, fewer incidents of fraud, what's the opposite of that? Maybe they have a ton of fraud today. Maybe chargebacks are through the roof and they can't figure out how to get it down. They've tried a lot of things, but it's not working. So those are the pain points of the prospect, aka in this case, Canary's case, the general manager that is experiencing this. So how do we put this all together? This is really the first step I would do if I was about to write a cold email or write a cold call. I would follow this exact simple script here to put this into plain language. This is a simple pitch outline, and it goes like this. This is as if I worked for Canary. I'm an SDR and I'm pitching to a hotel. I would say, hey, Mrs. Hotelier, we work with these types of companies that are experiencing these types of pain points. They may have tried these alternatives, but they're not sure it's working, and they continue to experience the outcomes of these pains. Does that sound like anything you or someone in your company is dealing with? That's how I would pitch my solution, my solution, aka Canary, very, very simply if I was an SDR. So let's fill in the blanks here and look at the example in real life. Starting with this top one, we work with boutique hotels in California. So we want to be as precise as we can with this ICP. We don't want to be too broad, too general. So with this ICP here, we want to narrow it into the whatever persona we're talking to at that time. It's going to change depending on who we're pitching to, but we want to be as precise as we can. So boutique hotels in California that are trying to improve guest health and safety through contactless check-in without decreasing overall experience of the guest. So maybe I have a hunch that, this general manager I'm pitching to probably wants to improve guest health and safety, or maybe they're trying to do contactless check-in. So that's one of my value props. I'm going to plug that value prop in there, turn it into a pain point, and pitch on that. They may have tried using check-in apps or other software before. So what if, mentioned some of the stuff that they might be trying to do today, but they found them clunky and hard to use, and guest complaints increased. So what I'm doing, I'm going to hammer home these pain points here, right? I want to hopefully excite some curiosity in them because maybe they're going through this today. Maybe they're curious how they can avoid this in the future. Does that sound like anything someone in your company is dealing with? So that's one version with the value prop of guest health and safety. Another version with streamlining operations. So we go back here, streamline operations. We got credit card fraud and manual processes. So maybe I'll pitch on credit card fraud. So, hey, Mr. Hotelier here. We work with hotel management companies with over 5 properties that are experiencing a high volume of credit card chargebacks and potential fraud. They may have tried getting customers to send over personal info by email and fax, but just found that chargebacks remained high and customer complaints continued about the experience. Does that sound like anything someone in your company is dealing with? So again, a simple pitch laid out here to help you frame your solution using the benefits, using the pain points, using the value props that you've discovered. And I would start here before I write out any cold call, any cold email, because this is going to get you in the mindset of and how an SDR would pitch this. And then once we have this formula written out, now we can take this and go craft it into a cold email. Now we can take this and go craft it into a cold call, which is what we'll do in the next video.